how often do we compromise? How often do we not have an opinion because we're too scared to? Maybe we'll just make things, we'll make a decision when we get there kind of thing. But today, I want to challenge you to see the things that we're avoiding as the very stepping stones we need to go to the next level in our lives. And so this isn't a message to entertain, it's a message to encourage. It's a message for someone who needs a little, who's looking for change in their life, who knows that life can be better than what they're seeing. It's for this is a message for the person who needs a little push and a little encouragement right now. So that being said, hi, I'm Grace Plata, and I'm here to equip, empower, and encourage you to help you live your best life. There are always going to be moments in our lives where we have to make a big decision. I mean, they can be really small, but still have an impact in our lives. So we can almost consider that all decisions are big in some case, but we know when we're looking at a really big one that we're going to have to take some time and think about it. But today I want to give you 5 ways to correctly set yourself up to make hard decisions correctly. Okay? So the first one is stop running. I am so guilty of this. Like every time I'm about to make it, some part of me just wants to turn around and run the other way. But we can't waste time, because if we continue to keep running from it, it's just going to get bigger and it's going to get worse. But if it's going to be like a splinter, we have to get it out as soon as it gets in, or it'll get all gross and big. But so also, don't make it a let's just get it over with kind of thing. But it has to be something that we're doing as we live in this adventure called life. I was listening to the story of skydiving, and this guy said right before they go, we'll count to 3. But they'll push you out on 2, because they know as soon as they say 3, someone will grab the handles and be like, no, I am not going off. So I know it's hard, and I even had, quite honestly, I had second thoughts about even doing this message, because I knew as soon as I were to say, yeah, get out of your comfort zone, I'm like, I have to follow what I say. So I'm going to have to confront things in my own life too. But you know what? As I was planning this out, I'm like, I'm not alone. You're not alone. So we don't have to do this together. We don't have to do it alone. So I just want to let you know that even if we have to make hard decisions, we're not alone in the process. We will encourage each other, which also is my next point. Don't do it alone. Do it with people who are on the same path as you, not just anybody. Let me get this straight. Not just anybody. Don't do it with just anybody, because you wouldn't listen to a hermit about what the great outdoors are like. You don't want to let other people speak their fears onto you of what could go wrong and why you shouldn't go after what you want to do. And you have to ditch the Debbie Downers. Don't let negative people in your life, because they are not going to compliment you on this road, especially in hard decisions, especially in things that make you feel uncomfortable. But when I'm challenging myself, and I think what we should all challenge ourselves to do, is get uncomfortable being uncomfortable. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. We live in such a I want comfort right here, right now. Everything is built around comfort. I mean, you can work from the comfort of your home. I mean, apparently, even like what I'm doing right now, Facebook Live, is from the comfort of my own home. But there comes a time where we can't just make a decision there's other times where we can't just sit under our fluffy blankets. I mean, of course, I'm not against like sweatpants or being comfortable, but there's times where if we say, yeah, we're going to do something while sitting under our comfy blankets, and I'm speaking to myself big time right now, that when it comes to being on the cold battlefield, we have to go with just the same amount of passion, if not more. So that's why I'm saying, have people around you who are on the same mission as you. You are the top 5 people you spend time with, who you hang around. So look around. Do you want to be where you see where your friends are? Have people in your life with a big vision that encourage you to think big, to dream big, to do big, to completely escape your comfort zone. Maybe you've heard life begins at the end of your comfort zone, and that is so true, because so if there's a line, let's see, back here, so I guess there's an invisible line in front of me. If I'm standing behind it, that's comfort. The line is the comfort zone, I guess, and afterwards is uncomfort. As soon as we cross that line, we can't look back and say, I want to go back. As soon as we cross that line, we just have to hit the ground running and go. So Surround yourself with people. Let people who have taken risks tell you the stories and the benefits, and maybe they have stories of the times they wish they would have accelerated, they wish they would have advanced into what could have been an awesome opportunity. But have big pictured people around you. Don't get caught up, don't have people caught up in the small details of like, oh, I stubbed my toe so I can't do whatever. Have people be like, I'm going for it. Have people around you that will encourage you to be the best you can be, to push yourself and to keep you on the path you created. And don't look to see what others are doing and compare yourself. Everybody has their own comfort level. There's some people who are way up here who have been through a whole lot more, who maybe something that seems really, really big to you is like no big deal to them. And something that's so big to them is like unbearable to us. Everybody is on their own journeys, so don't compare yourself. Because if you're like, oh man, everybody behind me is like doing whatever, so I think I'm doing just fine, then you won't advance into what you're supposed to be doing. But if you look ahead and you see, look what everybody else is doing, you can get discouraged, and you can become pretty much feel like I'm unqualified to do what I'm doing right now. You have to not just have confidence in yourself, but there's a big thing of what pride really is and what confidence really is, and every day we're all walking through that. So what I'm trying to say is have people around you who are building you up, who are pushing you, and don't compare yourself. That's what I was trying to say, is don't compare yourself, because it will never turn out in your favor. And then the third thing is make a decision. As soon as you say yes, I'm going to do that, I'm going to go, you can't lose that motivation. Motivation, yes, it can be a temporarily, like it can be a temporary, come on, mouth, work with me. It could just be like a feeling that only stays for a little while, but as soon as that feeling runs out, you have to have something else to hold on to. That's why when you have to find your why. I've talked about this many times, but it is most definitely worth repeating. When we want to quit, we have to find why we started. So when we make a tough decision, there has to be a certain yes point of why we're even saying yes in the first point. Because if the yes is big enough, no is not going to be a decision. And as soon as we say yes, we can't back out. And the only way that we can advance into what God has prepared for us, we have to say yes first. That's one of our first tests. We have to say yes. But we can't get there and say, okay, we'll do it. He has to have our yes first. And the fourth thing is, do it before you can change your mind. Just step out and run for it. I mean, there are times where I think I said this earlier before, where I just want to turn the opposite direction and run. But there's this one time I had to actually plan and just run for it. It was so crazy. My heart was beating the whole time. But you have to push yourself and let go of the railings on the count of 2 and push yourself before you can stop yourself. And then the fifth thing that I want to encourage you is that courage is who you are. It's not what you feel. Courage, again, is a decision. Because whatever you're conquering, everybody has their own level of difficulty. Everybody has their own level of uncomfort. But you have to make that decision of courage, because that's exactly what it is. It's a decision of courage. It's a decision. It's not a feeling. And that's also why motivation runs out. I mean, a decision could be, yeah, we feel motivated. But as soon as that feeling runs out, we've got nothing. That's why we have to make a decision that we're not going to back down out of fear, because that's the only thing that will push us, because our feelings will lie to us and they will push us in the opposite direction of where we're supposed to go. I don't know, but there can always be an inward struggle, but if we make a decision that's not based on our feelings, that's when we're going to fly. That's when we're going to push ourselves off the cliff, let go on the count of 2 instead of 3. The Bible tells us over and over again, be strong and courageous, for God is with us wherever we go. And that especially means that if he's asked us to do something uncomfortable, which he never tells us to just like sit and be comfortable. He always wants us to keep excelling, but it's for our greater good, because we're not going to We're not going to accomplish our destiny just sitting under a fuzzy blanket the whole time. There are going to be things that we're going to have to pick up with our heart racing and just let go and just go. He's not going to leave us. If he's asked us to do something difficult, you have to remember he's not going to leave you. So let's help each other out. Let's do it together. We have to be strong and courageous because it's who we are. It's not what we feel. Let me just remind you again, courage is a decision. So decide right now that you will be strong and courageous no matter who talks about you, no matter what happens, and no matter how much fear tries to paralyze you. So I thank you with that. I will see you next week, and be encouraged, my friend. We will do this together.